So here's my second video, and my humans are all still here. Hello, humans. Hello, dog. Okay, so in my previous speech, I discussed the reasons that people should adopt at least one dog rather than buying it from a breeder. Like anything in life, there's always pros and cons. Many times, pros do outweigh the cons, but it is important to acknowledge both sides of the story before you make up your mind on which side to choose. In this speech, I will be discussing the other side, the side that talks about the downsides to pet adoption. Unfortunately, pet adoption isn't something that can be done 100% of the time, because with pet adoption, many things come along, such as illnesses that dogs can carry, potential inability to even care for the dog, or coming across an issue of not finding the right fit for you. Oftentimes, adopting a pet can be a great thing, since you are, in fact, like I've said before, saving a life. But sometimes saving a life can be more than you bargained for. Not always, but sometimes there are dogs that come into the shelter that have been neglected very, very badly and are very, very sick. Most can get back to their original health with a little TLC, but sometimes that's a lot more than we bargained for. Sadly, this world contains things like puppy mills, animal hoarders, and dog fighters, which puts these dogs under so much more physical and emotional pain than they require. And they require someone with a very special heart, which often isn't everyone. The end reward has the potential to be more than one could ever have imagined, but the road to get there is rough, and some people can't commit to that responsibility. So if you're not able to give a dog with a rough past a good loving home, then it's just not right for you, and you shouldn't adopt it. And I do strongly urge you not to, because I guarantee somebody else will. Lots of times people want to get a dog because of how cute they are. They want a furry little companion to come home after work. However, oftentimes they don't consider the responsibility that comes along with a dog. A dog needs constant love and attention, and it has to be let out to go potty every 2 to 3 hours. As college students, we have a very busy, unstable life. Our schedules are crazy between classes, studying, work, maintaining a social life. It would seem like no one would have the time to even take care of a dog and its needs, and many of us can't. Many just don't have the funds to take care of its dogs and to take care of a dog and all of its needs. A study done by AVMA showed that 23% of people do not take their dog to the vet because they cannot afford it. Taking a dog to the vet is a very vital part of owning a dog, and being able to afford the extra care it needs is something to be considered before adopting it. In my previous speech, I discussed why people should adopt dogs. However, the primary reason that dogs end up in the shelter in the first place is because their owner was unable to take care of them. The biggest way to prevent dogs ending up in the shelter is to make sure that you can actually care for it before adopting it. And so far, I've discussed why people should avoid adopting dogs if they're not in the position to care for that dog. But sometimes dogs and personalities don't line up. When looking for a dog, you should only adopt a dog if it's right for you and your family. A family that wants a guard dog wouldn't adopt a Chihuahua, now would it? Well, no. Well, some people are just not fit for certain dogs, or dogs at all. I know plenty of people that are not dog people, and they try to have dogs anyways, and it's just not a good idea. If you're not a fan of slobber and fur, then you probably shouldn't get a dog in the first place. They cost a lot of money and time and effort, and if you're not a fan of any of that, then you have no business even adopting a dog. According to a study done by ABC News, 15% of people are allergic to pets. My dad is one. Eyes always itching, nose always running. It is a sacrifice, but many people with allergies can't put up with it. They adopt dogs and very quickly find themselves absolutely miserable because of the dander, and are unable to keep the dog because they probably should not have gotten it in the first place. My point being, if you're going to adopt a dog, then do your research. and know that type of dog, or know the type of dog owner that you are. Know the type of dog that you need. Because a dog does not deserve to suffer from a human's mistakes. Dogs often land in shelters because they are suffering the consequences of a human's mistake. They should not have been adopted in the first place. These sweet animals just want to give unconditional love and are passed from home to home just because their original owner could not take care of them how they needed. All dogs deserve to live in a forever home, so if you're unable to provide this for them, I strongly urge you to please not adopt a dog. Okay. People. Bye.